them at all? So you there, what was your relationship with the production members?
This one?
Yeah.
Friends.
Friends. And then how long have you been friends with these people?
3 years.
Okay, and you also have any relationships with any of the production members, cast or crew? No one. Okay.
Why are you people here?
Okay, let's see. Does anyone have any observations, perhaps, about what happened? No one. Well, you people are not very observant, are you? Okay, yes, you.
The deceased was coughing a lot before he died.
Yes, I believe he had what was it? Bronchitis? Yes, I believe he had a medical condition. Right here. It says he was diagnosed by Dr. Edison. Okay. Any other observations? Yes, you.
I was wondering where you guys were at the time when he passed away. I didn't see you guys around.
Are you accusing me?
Possibly.
We are police officers. We would never do such a thing. I think it's time we finish interviewing those two business owners. Now let's go.
Excuse me.
Thank you
Where
for
do you want to go?
No, you don't. Stay away.
I'm conducting this.
We are. We're a team.
Excuse me, you're my assistant. We're not a team here.
Yes, we are. You would never tell anyone. Dark in here. Get your feet before the lights.
Okay, Jen, I think we're really getting somewhere. Take a seat. What are we doing here? Is this a joke? What exactly is the point of this? What do you mean our lives are in great danger? We have found reason to believe that you're connected to tonight's murder. You think I killed someone? I'm not a murderer. I mean, how could I? I was sitting in my seat. I'm Laura. I have connection. No one's accusing you of anything. We just have some questions. Well, how do I put this?
Okay. I'll take over this one. I'll ask the questions, and you take the notes. I always wish to judge about this moment. The day that you asked me to ask the questions, I'd always imagined something like this. You had lots something to say, and I stood in boldly asking all the right questions. It's the day you'll finally think of me as a real detective, not just your quirky assistant. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You never solved half the cases if you hadn't had my help. I'm asking the questions. It's my day to shine.
Well, technically, I know we said exactly the question. How is this a complete waste of time? I know, they're fighting like children. Excuse me, I'm going to have to ask you to remain silent until you're addressed with a question.
Now, let's begin. Do you know why you are here? Mr. Sloan, you may answer first.
Well, I'm not really sure. You and the detective over here seem to think that our lives are in danger.
Okay, let's move on to an easier question. It's all right, Mr. Sloan. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's okay that we had to make the question a little bit easier for you. We have to start somewhere, now don't we? Notes. Now, Miss Richards, does the name Edmund Norton ring a bell?
Well, I haven't seen Edmund in a long time. This is the first time I saw him since... Well, never mind that. Yes, Edmund does ring a bell.
You people don't like to talk much, do you? This is going to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. You say Edmund like he was a good friend. Did you both know him well, Cyrus?
Well, other than owning the factory together, we only had dinner parties once or twice a year, if we were lucky. He was a fairly rich man, so during our annual Christmas dinner party, he provided me and Virginia with a grand meal. Other than those dinner parties, we never really talked much.
I can take it from here.
But
I have a few questions of my own I want to ask them.
I was on a roll. Fine, I'll take the note.
So the fire, tell me about it.
Well, Virginia and I were not actually in the factory when the fire started. I've only set foot in the place once or twice myself. As you probably know, we were experimenting with some sort of faux leather that caught fire while the shoe was being made. It burned down the whole company. It was a very sad day. Many people died. I don't like to talk about it much.
Did you ever talk to each other or Edmund after the fire?
No, not once. After everything was all clear, we all moved our separate ways. I was actually very surprised to see both of them here tonight. Why is this relevant?
Because it is, and I want to know. From what I've heard, the fire escapes have not been maintained and updated. Is this true?
There are many theories as to why the escape was so difficult, but I don't really like to go into the details of all of it because, it was all so long ago.
So you're saying your fire escapes weren't faulty?
What do fire escapes have to do with any of this? We didn't kill anyone. It was a natural disaster.
Not updating your fire escape routes is not a natural disaster.
Wait a minute! I thought you brought us back here to ask us questions about why we were here tonight, not accuse us of murder.
Then tell me, why are you here?
Well, it told us not to be late.
Wait, who told you? It?
No one. Nothing. All is fine. We're good. We came to play with fire. No, wait. Watch fire. Sorry. Can we go now?
One more thing.
Let them leave. Do you think their lives are still in danger? What if the murderer strikes again?
I sent for an officer to come pick them up. They're not safe here. Whoever forced them into coming here, well, I think they were forced into coming here. See how nervous they were? They were practically shaken.
You definitely make people shake.
What?
Nothing, never mind. What?
You know what else I just realized? The name of this production is Playing with Fire. Whoever forced them into coming here picked this show for a reason.
Yeah, you're right. They were probably blackmailed.
Yes, of course, when I think of that.
I agree. No. Yeah. They were definitely blackmailed.
I agree. And the plot thickens.
Oh, Adolfo, I need to talk to you.
Is something the matter? I was just about to start packing up my costumes. It seems as if that nose is getting attractive. Oh, what's his name? Lemony Apricot. He's gonna make sure we don't get our show finished tonight, which is definitely.
Be quiet, didn't you hear? He found the other two. He knows they're here.
What? How?
I don't know. That nose little detective is smarter than we thought. His babbling assistant is even worse.
Oh, it's all ruined, and that means months and months of design and sewing and fitting goes down the drain. I've been put up with Irene for years, and it was all for nothing.
Wasn't for nothing. We did the first bit. Plus, you shouldn't complain. I had to write and direct the whole play. And don't complain about Irene. She wrote those invitation letters for us, remember? Did you hear that?
I can only hear the sound of my heart as it crashes into my chest. Oh, David, my love, I failed you. I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry. I said I'd do this.
Calm down. Everyone's upset. Let's go. Or maybe you'd rather be left alone to your own pity party.
No. The pain is only worse when I'm alone.
She wrote letters? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What was wrong with Adolfo? Who's David? Oh my God. Jenna! just found out something that could really help us. I think this might be the big break we need. What are you doing?
Oh, just looking around, seeing if anything is detective worthy. You know, the usual detective assistant sort of stuff. I'm gonna walk over here.
I'm not even gonna ask.
Yeah, good idea.
Anyways, I just found out something that could really help us.
Well, what is it?
Well, I just so happened to stumble upon Rich and Adolfo in mid-conversation, and they were talking about Irene.
You happen to stumble upon?
What?
Never mind.
Anyways, where was I? Oh yes, I was going to talk about Irene when you so rudely interrupted me.
Very sorry. Please, go on.
Anyways, they were saying something about Irene writing invitation letters. I'm very suspicious right now. I think it would be a good idea if we were to call her in for another interview, just to make sure everything's in place, if you know what I mean.
Invitation letters? So you think these aren't so much invitation letters as forcing letters?
My thoughts exactly.
Well, what else did they talk about?
Adolfo was breaking down and saying something about his David. I'm not quite sure, but he seemed pretty upset.
He might have been making a big deal of nothing. He probably just got to say on his handkerchief that he named David.
What? Jenna, sometimes it makes no sense.
Sorry, bad joke.
Anyways, can you go get Irene? I want to interview her.
Sure, of course. It's not like you're going to. Well. Would you look who we have here? Right outside the room. Funny, it would seem she was eavesdropping on our conversation.
I would do nothing of the sort. Why am I here?
We found reason to believe that you may have blackmailed Edmund Norton, along with 2 other people, into coming to the show tonight. Am I right?
What? No! What makes you think that I did? I would never do that! Who told you this? I'll kill them!
Getting a little feisty now, aren't we?
I'm sorry, but our sources are confidential.
Tell me right now!
Do you want to tell us why you did this, or should I just infer that you killed Edmund too?
How dare you! I would never kill someone. Who do you think I am?
I'm not sure, Miss Olson. Can you tell us?
I'm an award-winning actress, that's who, and I'm no killer. How dare you? I'm done. I'm very done with you two.
By the way,
Jenna!
What?
You have no evidence proving that I blackmailed them. You need to call back before you can accuse someone of something so horrible.
She's right, you know. We don't have any evidence. We can't get an arrest warrant without any evidence. What are you even going to say? Oh, you're accusing this woman of killing someone. Well, what makes you say that? Oh, well, reasons to believe this? Well, we overheard someone talking about a woman writing invitation letters. That's never going to work.
Very amusing, but I think we have all the evidence we need.
What are you talking about? We don't have anything.
Now we do.
What's that?
Listen to this. I think it's a blackmail note. Hey, you will go to the address 2425 Regent Street and be prepared to watch the show. You will come alone and under no circumstance bring the police force with you. If you fail to follow these directions, you will burn, like they did.
So she did blackmail them. But how do you know it was meant for Edmund or the other 2?
Wait! Found this in Edmund's wallet earlier. See how they're both ripped? It fits perfectly.
Well, it looks like we have a murderer then.
Not quite yet. We don't know her motives, and we can't be sure that Rich and Adolfo really knew what she was up to.
Yeah. I guess you're right. We need more evidence.
I think I might just call the whole company for the interview. If those 3 are looking suspicious, who's to say the whole company isn't?
Yeah, you're right. Let's do this. Why do I even bother?
nothing to do with.
We'll see just how much you have to do with it, Miss Abrams.
Excuse me? You don't need to notice that girl, Paul.
Oh, yeah, what do you think you're playing at? No one is accusing you of anything. We just have a few more questions. Okay, let's start.
As long as they're very speedy questions.
Yes, we have work to do. We'd also like to go home at some point too, but I don't suppose anyone's thought of that, have they?
We're doing our very best here. Please be patient for a little longer. Okay. Miss Olson. Actually, Irene, is it Miss or Mrs.? You talk very much about yourself, but never about loved ones. Are you married? What does my personal life have to do with any of this? Because I'm investigating a case. My job is to find out if you have motives to kill someone. Motives for murder almost always have to do with one's personal life. So you see, your personal life has everything to do with this. Now let's try again. Are you married? No! Do you know something, Miss Olson? I find that very hard to believe. A pretty and successful girl like you is sure to have a lover. Well, you're wrong, because I'm not married and I never have been.
She's telling the truth, you know. I've known Irene for 5 years now, and she's never mentioned a husband to me.
Is that so? And where did you and Irene meet?
We met at an art show. Grant what I think. I don't even know how I got in, really. Irene, of course, had connections with the artist, so naturally she was there. I saw her across the room and recognized her as a famous actress. The moment she was free, I introduced myself. We got to talking, and she said she had just fired her makeup artist and needed a new one. So naturally, I took the job. And I remember, I was there with my sister Elsie, and...
What was Irene State's name?
Oh, she was there with her husband Gregory. Wait, but I didn't say she was there with anyone. You just assumed
Yes,
that...
but Flora, I think you just did.
You stupid woman! What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry, Miss Irene. I didn't mean to. It just came
Look
out.
at what you've done. Is this what you wanted?
We wanted the truth, and now we've got it. Thank you, Miss Baker. You've been quite helpful. Now, Irene, tell us what happened to your husband, as you are obviously not still married. The fact that you would keep this a secret is very concerning. We already highly suspect you of blackmail. Blackmail? Are you out of your mind? Why in the world would I do such a thing? I'm under no obligation to answer any such questions. Then I will have no choice to believe that you blackmailed Edmund Norton, Virginia Richards, and Cyrus Sloan into coming to the show tonight and killed Edmund. Do you feel like answering my questions now? I will know if you give me a false answer. You're a horrible actress. Fine! Gregory died. That's unfortunate, Miss Olson. May I ask how and when? I'm afraid it's too emotional for me to talk about.
Emotional, huh? You just don't give up, Irene. Now do you?
Excuse me? I can't believe you
You guys are honestly the most insensitive people I've ever met. First you come here and start our show, now you insult Irene.
No one meant to upset anyone. We're the police, and we're doing our job. Our job is to find out if you guys have motives to kill someone. You will answer our questions if we ask you to. Now, Irene, tell us how your husband died and when. He died in a fire 5 years ago.
That's very unfortunate, Miss Olson. What kind of fire?
A factory fire.
And where was your husband employed?
I honestly can't remember the name. It was very long ago, and I tried my best to forget the whole incident. Does the Wilson Young shoe factory fire ring a bell? Yes.
And you say your husband died 5 years ago. What month did he die in?
Well, yes. He died in August, I believe.
August. Very interesting. And what did your husband do within this factory? What did he make?
We honestly never talked much about his work. He was always too eager to hear about my acting.
I see. Well, because you refuse to give me any more information, which I'm pretty sure you actually do remember, I will have no choice but to believe that your husband died in the Wilson Company shoe factory fire.
Ooh, this is getting interesting.
Which took place 5 years. It took place some time ago on August 10th. Do you feel like answering my questions now, Miss Olson? That all seems to line up, doesn't it?
Well, yes. But it could have been any other fire. It wasn't necessarily that one.
So you're saying at least 2 major factory fires happened 5 years ago, within the same month? Is that really what you think? I know I'm right, and I can confirm I'm due within 5 minutes, just feel like a Gregory Olson's death records. But do you know what? I don't have to, because it's written all over your face, Irene. But I can't seem to understand why you would lie about all this. I think you're hiding something dark and dirty, and I think you've been hiding it for a very long time now. You did an excellent job job, Irene. You really have. But I think you may have just given yourself away. Oops. Too bad.
I have the best lawyers in the country. I wouldn't breathe another word if I were you.
Don't worry, Irene. I won't. I think we already have all we need. Now, don't we? Yes.
Quite. That was amazing. Now, Richard and Adolpha.
What?
No!
Getting a little defensive now, aren't we?
We are not defensive. We're just done getting interrogated. Obviously, Irene was the murderer, so we could just leave it at that and get on. What? Traitor! How could you? We had a deal!
Traitor, Interesting. Let me guess. You also had someone close to you die. What was their name? Let me think about this. Oh, yeah. How about David?
What are you how do you know? I don't know what you're talking about.
So who was he? Your best friend, cousin, uncle?
Oh, none of those. My dear David was my... pretend I didn't say that.
This David figure. He seems pretty important to you. Is that true?
Yes, he was very important. From the moment I laid eyes on him, I was instantly in love. Pretend I didn't say that.
Oh, so he was your boyfriend, partner?
Well, I guess you already know. You are a very smart girl, but insanely annoying. David was, yes, my boyfriend, and he died.
So is there anything else you want to tell us? Or
No, what are you talking about?
how'd he die?
I would like to keep that private.
Why?
Because it's too hard for me. David, my love, I failed you. I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry. I said I'd do this. Ever since you died, my heart shattered into a million pieces. Do you know that? I'll make it up to you somehow, I promise. Oh, David, my love, I'm so sorry. So very sorry.
I'm very sorry, Adolfo. But you say David died 5 years ago. Is that correct?
No, he... Can I take a minute, Miss Kincaid?
Yes, of course. Just come back soon.
So, Richard, we know you had a son who died in a fire. When did this happen?
I don't remember.
That seems to be everyone's excuse today. However, we don't believe any of you. Tell us.
Why should we tell you?
Mr. Lennox, how many times do I have to tell you all? We're the police, and our job is to figure out what happened. You will answer our questions. Do you understand?
Everything we say will be used against us.
That is true. So, Richard, how long have you been writing and directing plays?
For about 5 years, maybe a little less.
And did you know these actors before the play?
A few of them.
And when did you meet these people?
About 5 years ago.
Okay. Thank you for your cooperation.
I'm sorry, she made me do it. I'll never forgive myself.
Marjorie, let's talk to you next.
Never. I'm not answering any questions you ask.
We'll see about that. So, you and Thomas are siblings. Let me think about this. Was it your mother, father, other sibling?
What are you talking about?
It was our father.
Thomas, I can't believe we're related. I guess I'm the smart one now.
Give it up, Marjorie, we're caught.
They don't know everything. Actually, D.I. Lexington Alcott, how did Edmund die?
I'm not sure.
See, they're not as smart as we thought, are they?
Be quiet, Marjorie. You're getting on my nerves.
Well, if you're so smart, then talk to Paul and Lillian.
Fine. We will. Come now, Lillian. Who died in the past 5 years?
Well, I had a cat. His name was Fatty because he was very fat.
Okay, are you sure? Not anyone close to you at all?
No, I already said that. Tell him, Paul. We never knew anyone.
She's right.
Paul, have you had any relationships that Lillian may not know about?
Paul,
Yes, dear?
you are such a liar. I can't believe you would marry someone without telling me.
I never said that. Paul. I'm feeling that you're not telling us the whole truth here. I have never had a relationship that you, Lillian, or anyone doesn't know about.
He's right. We've been in an on and off relationship for about 12 years now. And wow, when I met him, I still can't believe I dated him in the first place.
Gee, thanks, Lillian. That means a lot.
Oh, I meant it in the nicest way. I love you, little pumpkin.
I've had enough of you two.
never ever be able to kiss me ever on the forehead ever again.
Good, well, that too. Fine, I'll tell you. I'm in a secret relationship with Marjorie, but it's not what you think. It should have been me!
How dare you? I can't believe you're in love with her. I, for one, don't see how anything about her is better than me. I have a better face, better teeth, better hair, and better clothes. I will never, ever forgive either of you ever again.
Lillian, wait! Gee, thanks, Marjorie.
I'm not the one that told her. I merely suggested.
This is too far! Poor Lillian!
It's not like any of you haven't done that before.
We haven't!
So, this was your big secret. I can see why you didn't tell me. I'm very disappointed in you, Marjorie.
I'm done with all of you guys. Tell me when you solve the case or don't. It doesn't matter to me.
So, we know about everyone. Except you, Flora. Tell us.
What do you want to know?
Don't be stupid. Tell us about your major loss. Who was it? That is, unless you don't want to tell us, because you're hiding something.
I haven't lost anyone. I'm telling the truth.
Sure you are.
I'm telling you, I would never hurt a fly.
That's not what we're asking, Flora. We're asking if anyone close to you died within the past, say, 5 years.
What? No.
Wait! You're not getting out of this all innocent. I'm the one who had to pay for your damn mistake, you blubbering madwoman. You are just as guilty as the rest of us. She had a sister who died in a fire 5 years ago. She cries about it every night, which is why she always has puffy cheeks. She's always talking about how great Elsie was. As if I cared. It's all very annoying. You're not the only one who lost someone.
How could you, Irene? All I have been is nice to you, and this is what you give me? I think I'm done being your makeup artist.
Good. I was just about to fire you anyways.
I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
That was all very unfortunate. But also fortunate at the same time, if you know what I mean. Yeah, this is all starting to make sense, except for one thing. How did they kill him?
So everyone had someone close to them that died in the past 5 years.
Well, everyone except Paul and Lillian.
Yes, of course. Why didn't we think about this before? It all fits together. Are we expecting someone?
No, but I think it may be the doctor reporting on the autopsy. The final piece of the puzzle. Hello, this is Officer Jenny Kincaid. Oh yes, hello, Dr. Thompson. This is about Edmund Norton, correct? Yes, okay.
are all still here, I can't do that, especially when
Once again, Lillian.
don't talk to me.
Well, might as well tell them. So the factory that Edmund, Cyrus, and Virginia were the owners of, which I assume you all know about, was burned down in a fire about 5 years ago, killing hundreds of people. Many of the victims' families blamed the owners for not updating the fire escape routes. Those angry families were probably very upset knowing that none of the owners had to pay a single penny for killing the victims. Those angry families would probably want revenge and want to kill the owners.
Wait, what are you saying? What is this fire case anyway? Everyone had already heard about it.
I find it very hard to believe that as an American citizen, you haven't heard of this notorious case.
Well, I did live in Australia for 10 years before Paul and I moved here for the show.
Australia? Why didn't you think to tell any of us this before?
Well, because no one ever asked. We only arrived here 6 months ago.
Very interesting.
She was right. It seemed like everyone else already knew each other before Lillian and I came on the scene.
Can you not say my name in a sentence? I do not want to be associated with you. Thanks. So, you're saying that our families are bad? Because I don't know about any of you guys, but my family is very happy.
Thank you, Lillian. I always knew you were smart, although I'm slightly revised my theory now that I have this information.
Thanks. No one's ever called me smart before. Only beautiful. Oh, Lillian, you have such pretty eyes. Oh, Lillian, you are so gorgeous.
Okay, that's quite enough, Lillian. You have no proof.
We have all the proof we need. The autopsy came back and told us that Edmund was poisoned with strychnine. Someone here gave him that poison.
Who?
Now, let's not get hasty. I'm getting to that. You all needed someplace to get all three owners somewhere all together. The perfect idea was to make a play. Richard, the famous playwright, wrote and directed the whole thing. Irene something more as well, as we needed someone who was a strong enough writer, post threatening black women, getting Edmund, Cyrus, and Virginia to the show. Naturally, Irene wanted in on the plan and in on the performance, as she had recently lost her husband Gregory in the same fire. Flora and Adolfo wanted in on the plan too, as they had recently lost someone very dear to them. He thought no one would suspect them. They looked too innocent. Flora would never hurt a fly, and that's what she keeps hoping we'll believe.
So you hired them. They took the jobs of making costumes for everyone and doing everyone's makeup. They were so elaborate and convincing you could hardly be recognized. Unnecessary, in my opinion, because those owners, they didn't give 2 cents about you, let alone know what you looked like.
And finally, Marjorie, with the help of her brother Thomas, you guys were the brains of the operation. You two organized everything. You put on the whole play for one murder. It actually got excellent reviews. What a shame it all has to end now, isn't it, everyone?
So you see, this murder is the work of all of you. That is, except for Paul and Lillian. You realized you needed 2 more actors for this play. So you picked 2 people who had been so completely isolated from American affairs for the past 10 years that they'd never even heard the words Wilson and Company Factory Fire. Let alone know what you were talking about half the time.
Oh my God.
I have to admit, this was clever. Very clever, everyone.
What the hell are you talking about?
It was all my work. But who did the poisoning?
Exactly, Lillian. That seems to be the final question, doesn't it? Who did the poisoning? At first, we thought the product would have been any of you. Like you, or maybe you. But no, none of you actually poisoned the poor man. You all need to be too busy to actually do the dirty deed. So you left just one person we haven't mentioned yet. A person usually forgotten or pushed to the side. In fact, me and Jenna didn't even think to interview them. But that's why they were the perfect candidates. They could exit and enter the theater quickly. They could access the audience members at all times. And most importantly, they went unnoticed. Jenna, come in! The house manager, Miss Claire Matthews.
You poisoned Edmund's handkerchief, which he frequently coughed into. You knew about how long it took for the symptoms of strychnine to show, and accordingly checked on him, where you conveniently found him dead. You claimed to poison the others too, and you would have gotten away with it. That is, if you had accounted for 2 excellent detectives, if I do say so myself, like us.
What? What is this? I don't understand. I really have no idea what you're talking about. You know nothing about me.
You put on quite a show.
You stupid people. I'm gone for a few hours and you give everything away. I guess it's finally that time. I've been waiting to do this for so long. Marjorie Lennox, Thomas Lennox, Adolfo Giovanni, Laura Baker,